Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tommy, just Tommy.
Master.
I'm doing a bit of a rebranding from Tommy Disaster to just Tommy on this channel. So I want to say thank you, first and foremost, for clicking on the video. Today's video, we're just going to go over a bit like a follow-up to the PlayStation 5 Pro, as it were. Because we just had Digital Foundry do their analysis and comparison, and we've gotten some screenshots here of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I just want to go over them and just kind of talk about the PlayStation Pro and Sony for a little bit. So let's jump right in.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better, I am better.
So here we are at this website here. I'm not really too sure. I just kind of Googled this to see if I could find it because I didn't want to stop and have to continue to press play on the video. We have some still frames from the PS5 base performance mode and the PS5 Pro in comparison to the resolution. And of course, the frame rate is locked at a 60 frames here, where it's not so stable here on the base model, the PS5. And as you can see, the PS5 base model isn't looking that great as far as how clear the picture or the resolution is. And I gotta tell you, the only other place that I've seen this blurriness here on video games is in performance mode on the Series S. Because even on series mode, the performance mode on the PlayStation 5 base model that I have, usually it's 60 frames, but not all games are as blurry as the Final Fantasy remake or Rebirth, apparently. And like I said, the Series S is the only other place that I've seen blurriness like this. And it kind of begs the question, if this is what people, you know, the fanboys were accepting, but it's kind of crazy because they're treating this as though it's leaps and bounds ahead of what the Xbox can do and even what the PlayStation or what the PC can do. And it's just not the case at all. And what's even crazier is this whole generation from Jump Street, the fanboys have been really taking a crap on the Series S for kind of looking like this. And, you know, meanwhile, we're having the same kind of visuals coming from the base model of the PS5, which is kind of crazy. And one gripe, I have a couple gripes with Sony so far, and it's been building. But one gripe that I've been having is the PlayStation 5 Pro, how this looks. This is how it's been marketed, to me at least, on the base model. Long before there was a Pro, even a rumor of the PlayStation 5 Pro, this is how it was being marketed. And that was the whole reason why I got rid of my PS4 Pro, was because that's why I didn't even finish the remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake, on my PS4 Pro, because I was led to believe that this is what it was going to look like and play like, just upgrading from the PS4 Pro to the base model of the PlayStation 5. And boy, was I wrong on that one. And it just kind of blows my mind that now, to be able to get your games to look like this and perform like this, you now have to spend an extra $700. And there are people out there like, no, it's not going to, you know, it's not going to cost that much if you just trade in your old console or sell your previous PlayStation 5 base console. You'll just be able to make the difference up. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you even saying? A couple other things that has been just kind of racking around my brain is when I see fanboys and people talking about and justifying this move from Sony. One thing over here that I had responded to MBG about, with Colin trying to basically justify the lack of disk drive, saying, you know, get with the times, basically, man. Everything's digital. He throws out some numbers here. And, hey, man, if you like your games physical, more power to you, but just to understand you're a relic. It's not for you anymore, which, I mean, I get it, but, like, you really got to be a dick like that? That's kind of like, that's silly. Let's grow up a little bit here, buddy. He says he understands why people are upset that they have to pay for it, but it doesn't mean Sony is forcing digital only. And as you can read down below, I put it is being forced by taking the disk drive out and making it the option now. And it's not hard to comprehend. So now if there was two SKUs a disc model and a digital model of the PS5 Pro, then it's even playing field. They're sticking with the marketing that they started off with the base PlayStation, and also with the Slim. The Slim, I think, is what solidified the choice. It solidified the choice for Sony to make just a digital-only console here with the option to have the disc drive. I think it kind of gave them the numbers that they need. However, it is being forced if you now have a customer base that, let's say, like myself, I have digital and physical. And let's just say, for example, there's someone out there who has built up a large library of physical games on their PlayStation 5 console. They're now being punished for doing that, because if they want to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 Pro, they're being punished and being made to spend more to be able to play the games that they currently already have, if they want to play at a higher resolution and a higher frame rate. And that is the sole reason why it is being forced, because the PlayStation 5 Pro doesn't have another SKU, doesn't have another option other than having to spend more money on a disk drive. So yeah, it's definitely being forced. So you're almost alienating a part of your user base, your consumers that have purchased a certain way in this generation for your console. So yeah, even with Xbox, they have options for their consumers here with a 1 terabyte Series X with the disk drive, 2 terabyte with the disk drive, and an all digital. And it's actually cheaper. Obviously, it's going to be cheaper. It's a $50 difference from the disc versus the digital. However, they're not completely alienating a part of their consumer base by forcing them to spend more. So I think Sony has been able to do this because they obviously are the market leaders here, with Xbox kind of bowing out and telling them, hey, we're not in a race anymore with Sony. We're just kind of doing our own thing, and we're refocusing on how we want to, do our gaming division over here at Xbox. And I think the minute they did that is when Sony really decided to, go full throttle on raising the price of their base model. Before the Pro was even announced, they raised the price of their base model. They took things away from the newer model, the Slims. They raised subscription prices for their PlayStation Plus, and they added nothing to it. There was nothing that really kind of warranted a price hike. They were also the biggest proponent of video game price increase up to $70. And I mean, that's a whole nother video. It's a whole different topic, but they led the charge in all of these things. They were the reason why their controllers are now $70. They led the charge on all prices across all the boards in the video game space to be raised. And it's just crazy to see things like this happen now with their PlayStation Pro model coming out in a couple months here. Of course, we'll get more news on this when the console releases. I'm very curious to see if there are going to be more third-party games that come out that have a Pro version, and I'm curious of whether it's going to cost more or not. And also, I'm not sure if this is going to be the final nail in the coffin for the previous generation of consoles, because here's another concern that a lot of people don't understand, they don't know, is there's still 50% of Sony's active user base still on the PlayStation 4 model, and that's this year. Just June of this year, this is reports from them directly, from PlayStation directly, half of their users, half of the people that are on PlayStation are still on previous consoles. So with them making all these moves to upgrade with their games and whatnot, maybe this is their Hail Mary. They're, coming out with this console to try and get a majority of those users that are on the PlayStation 4 consoles to move over finally to the new gen after 5 years. But I mean, only time will tell. We'll see if this is a smart move on their part, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of shaky things that's been going on over here at PlayStation. Not only the hardware, but the software end as far as video games and whatnot goes. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit concerning here. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to get a PS5 Pro. I don't see really the need. These games are all coming to PC anyway, and I have a very beefy PC that I would love to put to use with all of my games, including the Sony exclusive games. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Just another little quick follow-up. I know the video is a little longer than I expected it to be, but it's just a little follow-up, and I'm sure I'll do more once the console's finally out and released. The resolution that has been putting out is a bit questionable too, but like I said, the console isn't out fully, so only time will tell. But as always, it's been your boy, it's been real, and I am out later.
I'm at the